Hello, vapors. This video is going to be a relook at the assets 18350. Okay, this is only the tube part of it. Yep, we're not just going to look at that, but we're actually gonna take a close look at it because I didn't really discuss the ATI part in detail on my last review, so I'm just gonna do that, and hopefully I'll be able to explain it better to you and you will understand what the mod really is about better as well. So without wasting time, I want to show you a closer look at the ATI assembly. Okay, so this is the ATI assembly, this is the top base of it, this is the bottom base of it. Yep. And you can see this is where it connects with the tube of the mod. So my comments on this, the Allen key, Allen screw that they use, alright, it's huge. It's a 2mm size, so it's easy to find at the hardware. That's one thing. It's huge, so you will have no problem tightening a ribbon cantal with this. No problem with ribbon. Great. So my concern on this is that it came with a dual coil design. You couldn't really find a way to close the other hole over here. So my friend actually put a silicone plug over here to cover that thing. You have no option of covering this air hole, which is another bad thing. I would like to be able to cover this breathing hole of the tank in case I don't want it to leak whenever I go on a plane or something like that. But if you're on a plane, if you keep it upright the whole time, it shouldn't leak. This is how you put the tank in. It goes in just like that, nice and tight, and that opens up another view of the mod. And see how this connects together. I actually didn't think it was like that, so I missed a Noalox spot over here where it connects to the negative part of the electricity circuit, the electric circuit. So what I'm gonna do is just I'm gonna Noalox that right now. Take a dab. Come on, don't want too much of it. So that will be just enough. Let me try and do this while I'll just do it like this and then I'll show you. Maybe it's better if you put it over here. Yep, thought so. It might create a mess with your mod, but I think it would actually, the benefit of doing it, we might see some low voltage drop here. The previous record was 0.25. Okay, that's a good dab over there. Put it together and see, it actually became like that. So that's an important part to put the Noalox on it. Makes it conductive, even more conductive than before. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna recoil this thing to my liking with a 30 gauge cantal. Recoil this thing with a 30 gauge cantal, and we'll fire it up and take a look at it, and then I will comment specifically on the so-called what do you call this, adjustable chamber size. I got some thoughts on it. I'll hold it until that part where I talk about it. We'll measure up some numbers first and then we'll take a look at that thing and my final thoughts on the mod itself. Alright, I called up the coil just in time, I hope, and it fires really nice, really bright. That is what I like to see. That means the voltage drop might be minimal. Okay, so I got a question to the modder actually. Why would you have a screw, a Phillips screw, and an alien screw in the same mod? It makes people have to carry two tools at once just to coil a coil on this mod. So that's a question to the modder actually. Maybe he might be watching this review. I hope so, and make some improvements, or make some at least make some improvement kits for this mod, because he makes it himself. He should be able to make improvement kits for this. All right, multimeter. Let me grab the leads. All right, let me first check the resistance of the coil. It should be in the region of 1.0. Sorry, you couldn't see that. Okay, should be in the region of 1.1 to 1.2. Yep, 1.3 minus the 0.1, 0.2 internal resistance. Yep, that's about right. Let me check the battery voltage now. And one thing as well, I don't know why everyone is now making mods that are too tight. Any batteries with the label can't fit in. I must remove all the labels and probably just mark my batteries with a marker, which yeah, I can do that as well. Okay, make mods with tight tolerances. Bravo. Okay, let me check this. .15. Put this back in. And this is actually the same mod that I'm reviewing. So the same battery as well. I just charge it full and played around with it just now. And so let us check what kind of reading we'll be getting. That will be interesting with that piece of Noalox job. It was 0.25 before, right? Oops, forgot to unlock it. Okay, here we go. 4.15. Well, about the same. The numbers speak for themselves. 4.15, 3.9 average on load. So that would be 0.2, still 0.25, but mind you, my battery is a bit old and I've used it a lot. So a newer battery, a better battery would definitely perform better than that. But okay, now we'll take a look at the so-called adjustable chamber. Some people weren't very happy when I was talking about this. They say that I didn't even vape it in my review. How could I say that? But I do know a little bit or two of the things that I'm gonna talk about. Okay, let me demonstrate it to you. This is all the way pushed in, right? This is all the way pushed in. So I'm gonna take a marker. I'm hoping that my friend didn't see this review. So what I'm doing is I mark a line over there. You probably couldn't see it. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay. So my issue with this is that now I pull this out and I put this here so you can see that. Where is the hole at? Okay, I'm putting it at the line, directly at the line. Maybe this will be better. How about this? I'm putting it directly at the line where it stops, and you can see that the hole is just about where the coil is. Can you see that? That part? Yeah. Yep. Let me just realign this. Yeah, it's just shooting right at the coil. See that? Just right at the coil. So if you move this up, it's now not shooting directly at the coil. I'll do that again. This is where it sits at the bottommost part. Look at where the coil is. Right there. Yeah, right there. And now if I move it up, it's not shooting at the coil. So when you adjust, you so-called adjust the chamber size, when you adjust the chamber size by pulling this up, you are actually moving the air hole as well. I would call it an adjustable chamber mechanism if you don't really move this air hole that shoots air at the coil. But because of you moving this, and then the air hole moves as well, that is actually producing the effect of an air hole not being properly aligned. You would get the same effect if you were to take a look at this. You would get just about the same effect if you misalign the air hole on the mod. Say the air hole should be like this. You can see the wick over here. That's the wick, the air hole. You would get just about the same effect if you have put the cap elsewhere, because the fundamentals of producing good vapor from any atty is that the air must shoot, I wouldn't say shoot is kind of like a violent word, but that's how I put it. The air, when you take a draw on the mod, it should directly blow at the coil, so that whatever is being vaporized gets removed away by the air, and then it doesn't stay at the coil long enough to produce that burn taste or the burn feeling whenever you have a dry hit, right? Because the vaporizing, let me try to put it in a better way. See, when you vaporize the liquid, you want to remove the vapor that was being produced at the coil immediately. So if the air hole was misaligned, what's going on is that the vapor that's being produced is not being removed away at the moment it was being produced. So it stays at the coil and produce that burn hit. So that is why whenever you have a misaligned hole with any atty, uh, name it silica, dripper, genesis, whatever, even CE2, if you misalign the air hole, you would actually get dry hits pretty frequent. So when people say you get the feel of the just throat hit, I really don't agree that it is because you adjust the chamber size. In this case, it was because you are moving the air hole that it is not directly shooting at the coil. What happens is that at the bottommost stop, with the setup that this thing comes with the height of the coil and all that is possible on this mod, it makes it's really at the sweet spot of the coil. This is the bottommost that you can push in. You couldn't push in further. This is the bottommost that you can push in. So with that, if you move it up, then you miss the sweet spot. So what's happening is a misaligned air hole. It's not really about the chamber size, or at least that is my opinion on it. I still think the model did make a good job. I mean, because if you push it all the way in, it shoots nicely at the coil, so the coil would perform at the most optimum of what it should be. So my final thought on it, my final thoughts on it. It's a good mod. I wish that he had, instead of this laser etching that you couldn't really see on my previous video, instead of this laser etching, I wish he had really laser engraved this, and so it would be embedded into the metal instead of this, because if I were to polish this even with autosol or some other material, polishing material, it will fade eventually. uh, I think he will listen to my suggestions of making improvement kits for this mod. um, I would my thought on it is that would I buy it? No, but that is because of my preference. I don't like a hybrid, and I don't like clear tanks. Clear tanks will break eventually. If you drop them, it will break, and by that time, if you don't have anything else, you can't vape. But would I recommend it to somebody else? Yes, I would recommend it to somebody else, because I see that it was carefully designed. He has looked into it, but he had missed some of the most critical part of it, and he probably has marketed this thing wrongly. It's not really an adjustable chamber size effect. It was actually the air hole. Uh, you could probably say it this way: adjustable air hole position. That sounds good as well, right? Because that is indeed what is happening in my point of view. Final thought of it, like I said, I would recommend this to a friend who wants a hybrid, who's looking for a good Malaysian mod. A lot more mods are coming in nowadays. I hope that the assets maker will come out with new ideas and well, new ideas for new mods, yeah, but do come up with improvement kits like this for this mod. All right, that is all I have to say. I hope I've clarified further on the shortcomings of my previous review on this mod. Hope it helps. Cheers and vape on. Wait, I haven't actually vaped this, but yeah, why not? Sorry, I'll I will stick to vape on. I should fill some liquid in this. So apparently it takes about 2.5 mils of liquid. Let's see. Wet the coil a little bit. There we go. All right. That's probably too close to the camera. Okay. Oh, I got a hot spot there. This mod is indeed powerful, but I didn't actually re-wig this thing. If I were to avoid this, if you're having a lot of problem with hotspots with the assets, you might want to increase the width of your mesh wig. I think my friend used 2.5 centimeters here. I would actually go 3.5 or even 4 centimeters. If you have to make a solid mesh with it, do it, because you can't even close this air hole. So this breathing hole will play a part on that. And so should I vape this? Yeah, if I tilt vape it, I shouldn't get any of the dry hit. And refocus the camera. the hotspot is still there. I can feel it, but as you can see, it's not enough for me to stop vaping it. Not that bad. The heat is good because it's a 0.25 voltage drop with my Megalodon and with my clone not clone DID, with the original DID and my Megalodon. I would always score about 0.3, so this is just a bit more than a bit better than my mod. Oh, that was a good one. And that's another one. Yep. Like I said, I would recommend this. I would definitely recommend this for uh, anyone who's looking for a hybrid to have a local mod, and plus the price is not that. Yeah, the price is in the medium range, 500, but you can see the finishing on it, the machining on it is top class. It's not cheap machining. The finish on it is nice. The material is nice. 316 stainless steel and 360 brass. High quality stuff. Uh, Definitely recommend it to a friend who likes hybrid. And I hope he also makes this Pyrex tank available, because apparently a lot of people, even though they like Pyrex tanks, they are also prone to breaking it. I see those kind of posts looking for tanks, looking for tanks, looking for Pyrex tanks on MVC all the time. My liquid is 70 pg, in case you're wondering. It's a Bancho juice. All right, cheers. And vape on. Bye bye.